All right, we're back. Week one in the books for the NFL. James put on a happy face. I know you're not happy, but put on a happy face.
I've come to grips with it. I wouldn't say I'm unhappy. I'm just very in the middle, I guess.
So let's just go ahead and start with your Philadelphia Eagles. Lose to the Washington football team. I had to correct myself. They were up, 17-0? And then Washington scored 27 unanswered points. That's rough. I did pick Washington to win. I thought that pass rush would be able to get in Carson Wentz's head, make him make some mistakes with the Philadelphia offensive line being banged up, and that's exactly what happened. You were ready to fall or to jump off a cliff or a bridge or somewhere from a high altitude, if you want to call it that, a mountain even. And I had to talk you off the ledge.
Dude, I can take L's. Like, I don't care. I'd care if my team loses, but I can get over a loss. But, like, that wasn't a regular loss, dude. That was a loss to a bad team that they were with. Dude, I thought the game was over. I was over there. Dude, I was saying Carson Wentz's MVP campaign starts today to artists and shit, and then didn't make another play the rest of the game. But this is what I'm going to say. This is my hot take. I don't even really want to talk about the game. Honestly, it was a combo of Doug and Carson and injuries. I'm done absolving the Eagles because they have injuries. I don't fucking care. Like, you got to win games. Howie Roseman is the most overrated general manager of the four major sports in the United States of America. That is my new hot take. He's still he can't draft, Shane. That's why the Eagles are in cap hell right now. That's why we have a bunch of old players that are fucking hurt because he can't Dude, we have entire draft classes where he picks 7 guys and they all suck. Like, I could draft better than that, dude. I could walk into the fucking Eagles war room on draft night and I wouldn't have picked Jalen Hurts. That isn't fucking helping our team last night. I wouldn't have picked Davion Taylor 3rd round, who isn't going to fucking touch the field for 4 years because he's fast but can't play football. I wouldn't have fucking picked.
So I assume Jalen Reagor didn't do very well?
No, Jalen Reagor's fine. I still love that pick. He's a beast. He caught a deep pass. He had 3 fucking yards, and Carson Wentz missed him on another one that would have been an 80-yard touchdown. He should have had 150 yards and a touchdown. Not his fault. He's going to be a beast. Got him. Didn't get him the ball. This is why I said it was Carson because of that. Injuries, obviously. And then Doug, dude, you finally have some speed at receiver. Why don't you do some screens? Why don't you do some misdirection? Why don't you do some pick plays? None of that shit. He was throwing fucking 25 yards downfield or running the ball to our second string running back who isn't that good. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Eagles have been in the situation that they're in the last 3 years, and it's because of Howie Roseman, and I'm almost to the point where I want to say fire that man. Because before, I always knew that he wasn't a great drafter, but before, it was like, all right, he's so good with free agents and contract and everything else that goes along with football that it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? If you can get a couple good players to draft, you're fine. But, like, now we're in cap hell. It's like, what are you good at, dude? We have no good fucking players. We're the worst cap room in the NFL. Everybody's hurt again. You have no depth.
Well, let's go ahead and say this. Everyone's in cap hell next year because the cap is going down a considerable amount.
Let's say even if it wasn't going down, the Eagles are in the worst in the league. They're 32nd in cap room right now.
I know they're in bad shape.
You want to fucking know why? Because he keeps restructuring deals and then ballooning people's payments at the end. Fletcher Cox is due like $23 million next year because he just kept pushing off his fucking salary. We're going to have to trade him. Dude, they're going to have to trade Zach Ertz and Fletcher Cox this offseason. I'm telling you right now. It's definitely Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is as good as gold.
Yeah, Zach Ertz, I heard.
Cox too. Dude, Fletcher Cox had he had a half a tackle on Sunday against a bad offensive line. You're not getting your $24 million next year, dude. I'll trade you for a fucking second-round pick, and you can go. I mean, that's where we're at right now. They're going to go probably 7-9 this year, and they're going to have to rebuild. That's where we're at. And I'm just fucking disgusted by it, because they shouldn't be, dude. Like, this is a team that should compete every single year with the coach and quarterback that we have, and Howie's just fucking ruining it, dude. He didn't make any trades for any of the good players this offseason. We missed out on DeAndre Hopkins. We missed out on Yannick Ngakoue. We missed out on Everson Griffin. We missed out on everybody. We don't fucking have anybody, dude. Sorry to rant. I know this is a football podcast, but, like, I'm fucking pissed that, like, I'm probably going to have to wait a couple years before I see a competitive Eagles again. I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking livid.
All right, I was willing to let you rant.
Livid.
So, let's everyone just calm down.
No.
Everyone just calm down. It's week
I
1.
live for football. I want to see my team be good, dude.
I hear you. But it's week 1, dude. They're a game out with 3 other teams.
No, it's not that, dude. They have a really tough schedule, dude. You can't lose to the Skins and the Giants and the Bengals. Like, had to win those games, dude. If they didn't win those games, they weren't winning double-digit games and they weren't going to go to the playoffs. Like, I get it, dude. I'm not mad that they lost one game. I'm mad at the state of the team. Like, that game, dude, that game was over. They couldn't move the ball. They had the lowest yards per play of any team in the NFL Sunday. The Redskins, I mean. That's how well everything was going. Like, 17-0. Wentz had 200 yards, 2 TDs in less than 2 quarters. And I don't even know what happened, dude. He threw 1 pick and he couldn't complete a pass the rest of the day. It was bizarre. Like, I was just watching that game, and I've been an Eagles fan since I was an infant. So, like, I knew they were going to lose that game when they were still down. Like, I knew the Redskins were going to win that game. I knew it.
All right. Are you done?
Whatever. That's my fucking yes.
All right. We've talked about your Eagles enough. I'm going to stay in the NFC East, though. I'm going to hold off on Green Bay. I'm going to stick in the NFC East, though. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, who dropped the game to the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. So all I heard the entire first half was how great Dak looked. How great he looked. Oh, he looks fantastic. He's owning the field. He's dominating the Rams, which he kind of was. But halftime, Sean McVay, who's a great coach, makes the adjustments. Do you know what his numbers were in the second half?
I know they only scored 3 points, so I know they were good.
I looked it up. I'm going to post it to my blog. He was 10 of 22 for 79 yards. That's 3.4 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
He's not that good.
We've been here on the Dak thing.
I know. I just want to throw that out there.
He's an average talent with absolute elite 10 out of 10 players every fucking where around him, and all he has to do is go out there and not show his asshole, and they win. Like, that's all it is.
This, again, though, we've talked about it. He's great against the Giants in Washington. Everyone else, he's kind of an average quarterback.
Yeah,
he's not that good.
Below average, but Shane, this is where I want to pat my own back a little bit, and maybe it was Cowboys hate at the time, but I told people, dude, this is the same team, if not worse than last year. I don't care that you got a rookie wide receiver. You were already the number 1 offense in the NFL. You're not going to be better than that.
Yeah.
You don't have a defense. You lost 2 of your best defensive players.
I will say this, Aldon Smith looked very good.
Yes, he did look very good, but I'm not afraid of Aldon Smith. He's fucking 30 years old. He's barely played football. Dude, I told people this. They're going to go 9-7, maybe 10-6, because they do have a lot of talent, but they're not a Super Bowl team. And I tried it to every fucking idiot that was, oh, this is the year for the Cowboys. And it's like, dude, why? Because they drafted CeeDee Lamb? Like, you really think that's what's going to make them from a 500 football team to winning the harder conference? Like, dude, they might not make the playoffs. Like, I'm dead serious. If the Eagles end up, going on a little run, dude, the Cowboys might go 8-8 again. Like, they have a terrible defense. Terrible defense. You can attest to the Mike McCarthy shit.
Yep.
My boy Garrett was telling me the whole time, oh, Jason, guess why we went 8-8 last year? And I'm like, dude, Mike McCarthy is not some crazy – he's a good football coach, but he's not some crazy, unique, innovator.
No, he's not innovative.
Yeah, so like,
and I like the guy, but I said they're not going to be much better, but they will be better situationally.
Were they on Sunday though?
No, they weren't. But it was just game 1.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that's an upgrade. But I was trying to tell my boy. To be honest with you, in my opinion, people go, "Yeah, Mike McCarthy's a Super Bowl winning coach," but I think you can attest to this. I think he underachieved in Green Bay. He had the best fucking quarterback in the league for a decade.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Granted, the front office didn't help him out.
That's what I was going to say. He had a bad defense a lot of those years. But my point being, it's not like Mike McCarthy was never an elite coach, was my point. That's what I should have said. Like, he was never at any point a top 5 coach. I don't care that he won a Super Bowl. Coaches win Super Bowls sometimes when they have really good teams. It is what it is. I don't know. The Cowboys are what the Cowboys are, and anybody who isn't biased and isn't trying to get clicks like sports writers could have told you that this team did nothing to get better in the offseason. Nothing.
So this is their upcoming schedule, and they better steal some wins because the middle is pretty difficult. But they got Atlanta this week. That should be a win, although I wouldn't say that's going to be an easy win.
Yeah.
At Seattle, that's going to be tough. Cleveland at home, they ought to win. They ought to be about 2-2.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-2 because the next week they play the Giants. That's 3-2 probably. Then they get Arizona at home. That's no gimme.
No.
Then they're at Washington. I don't think that's necessarily a gimme. At
No.
Philly, Pittsburgh at home, bye week, at Minnesota, Washington at home.
Damn.
At Baltimore, at Cincinnati, San Francisco at home, Philly at home, at the Giants. They gotta get some wins like now.
Yeah. I mean, they're in the situation Philly's in now where they're gonna have to steal some because I think a lot of people. I don't think you did, but I think a lot of people had Dallas winning that game.
I did not. I picked the Rams. Rams are a good team at home under Sean McVay.
Good call.
I had a good week. I was 12-4 straight up in my picks.
I know I wasn't. I saw a bunch of my picks, man.
I got a little greedy with Miami over New England. Even then I didn't think I was stupid, but
No, dude, it wasn't. I mean, it's not like New England lit it up. Miami kind of shot the bed on it.
right. So
I think if Lou was playing, they got a shot to win that game. Frankly.
probably. Let's move on. Let's talk Tampa, New Orleans. Real quick, I just want to say I didn't think either of these teams looked particularly good on Sunday. Let's not overreact to Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. Tom Brady several times got off to kind of sluggish starts in New England. They were able to win games mostly. But he didn't get off to great starts all the time in New England. He's in a new city, new teammates, new system, new head coach, a COVID offseason. I'm not shocked that they struggled. I thought they were going to struggle to start the season. New Orleans is a buzzsaw in New Orleans, and they played really good defense. But I'll be honest, neither of these teams were very impressive. Drew Brees threw the ball, he had 5.3 yards per attempt. Like, he was not good. And he got most of that off one throw late in the game.
This is the craziest thing. I could have wrote, if you asked me, what do you think's going to happen in the Saints-Bucks game on Sunday, I could have wrote exactly what fucking happened, because exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. I knew the Saints were going to win by a pretty decent amount. Drew Brees was going to look kind of like shit. Tom Brady was kind of
I thought he'd be better. And the other thing, New Orleans didn't run the ball well at all. They were 2.4 yards per attempt.
Maybe that Vita Vea is kind of a run stuffer. I think they still got
I watched that game, and yeah, New Orleans was very good defensively, but I was like, Drew Brees was bad against a bad secondary.
I'm pretty sure Michael Thomas got hurt too.
He did get banged up, but I'm not that impressed with either team. Tampa, I think Tampa's going to figure it out. Let's not overreact here. I think they'll be fine.
Shane, you want to hear something?
What's that?
Packers might be a little higher up that total pole than you thought, huh?
Don't tell me that. Okay, we can go ahead and go to Green Bay then, I guess.
Aren't as good. Saints aren't as good as I thought.
It's just week one. It's just week one. New Orleans is another team that has gotten off to slow starts the last few years. But yeah, so let's talk Green Bay. I got to talk about my Packers. If you had told me that we were going to go into Minnesota, granted, I know there weren't any fans, and score 43 points, I would have said you were insane. Like, Mike Zimmer is such a good defensive mind. He's fielded some really good defenses in Minnesota. I would not have believed that. And they were very, very efficient with the ball. They had over 500 yards of total offense, technically 41 points. They dominated the time of possession with 41 minutes to like 18 minutes. Really just dominated the game overall. Minnesota, I think, made Green Bay punt one time. Ran the ball pretty effectively. And the game was closer than the 43-34 score. I think it was 36-18 midway through the fourth quarter, and Kirk Cousins had some garbage time touchdowns, which you got to clean up. But still, yeah. I look at this game, and this is kind of my final thoughts, too. I warned everyone. I warned everybody. This offense had more than what people thought. This offense was always kind of a second late, a yard short last year from being a really good offense. I could see it. The development was there. The play design was there. They just weren't quite on the same page. And here we are, year two. Rodgers looks so much more comfortable. That was the best game I've seen him play in 5 years. Since 2016. Since 2016. Why is that?
It's the Aaron Rodgers fuck you tour, bro.
Oh, I hope. And you know, and people are saying he's mad at the organization. I really don't think he is.
I don't think he's mad at the organization, but I do think that there's a hint of, well, all right, I'm gonna fucking show you that you.
Yeah, does this mean he's gonna have a grudge when he's a free agent? In a few years? No, I don't either.
He's a Packer for life. I mean, I do think he's going to be on a different team. Don't get me wrong, but he's a Packer for life. I don't think he has any ill will. He gets it. He actually said it.
Yeah, he said, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you got to do. But I still think he's sitting there like
it's a little bit of that. I think
fire under his ass a little bit because I think he was a little as talented as he still was. He was a little more passive the last couple of years than he has been in the past, and not happening this year.
Yeah, like I said, this was the best I'd seen him in 2016 when they were 4-6 and won 6 games in a row to win the division, and then went to the NFC Championship that year. He looked better than that. He was really good. Minnesota has some holes in the secondary. That safety duo of Anthony Harris and Harrison Smith, which is one of the best in the league, didn't hardly make an impact in the game. Those corners, which are young, and I warned everybody, I said they lost their top 3 corners in the offseason. It might take some time for them to get ready. And Devontae Adams had a day. Alan Lazard had a day. Marquez Valdes-Scantling had a day. And Equanimeous St. Brown didn't even play. Aaron Jones was kind of held in check. The offensive line lost 3 starters before the game and during the game. And they still moved the ball at ease. So,
it doesn't look like... Looks like people are going to be wide open on the Vikings all year. I mean, they're going to have to hope that
No, I don't think Jeff Gladney played. Daniel Hunter didn't play. Yannick Ngakoue was on the field. He didn't do anything. I think he got 1 pressure the whole game.
Yeah, so he's going to need. He's a very, very good player, but he's not an elite player. He's going to need Daniel Hunter on the other side to make
he's like a B+ kind of player.
Yeah. He's very good. I mean, he'd be the best pass rusher on my team, probably, but not a lot of teams.
Yeah. But any other games? We can hit on this quickly. I want to talk, though, Seattle, Atlanta, kind of like the Green Bay, Minnesota game. This game was not as close as the score indicated. Russell Wilson was phenomenal. He was 31 of 35 for over 300 yards. He's got pass catchers. He's really good.
They should have been doing this the last few years, dude. Just let Russ play, dude.
Yep.
Like, fuck it. Don't even call it. Just do the Peyton Manning and just let him go up to the line and go, yup, and fucking run the play, dude. Straight up.
Yep.
He is, and I don't even know how at this point, he literally has to be one of the most underrated players in any sport of all time. Like, unfucking believable, dude. Like, his height has stopped him from being, talked about as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, dude. I mean, he's just fucking insane. Like, he can do every single thing on the field at an elite level. I think he's the only one that can do that. I don't even think, technically, Mahomes can do everything at an elite level like Russell Wilson can. I mean, Russell Wilson can actually scramble and take a ball 60 yards to the house. I don't think Mahomes has that in him. Dude, you can make a very good argument Russell Wilson's the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Very good one.
Yeah, I agree. Another game I wanted to touch up on, Chicago, Detroit. Let's not overreact. Mitch Trubisky, I don't think is back. Even last year and his rookie year, he always does well against Detroit. And he was losing this game by a good amount. And if DeAndre Swift catches the ball in the end zone at the end of the game, we have a different attitude this week.
Dude, Mitch is what he is. I mean, he's a backup. He's a backup. He's a good backup. He's a high-end backup. He can go in when you 4 out of 6 in the middle of the season or something if you have a good team. That's what he is, though, man. He's got some wheels on him. He's athletic. He's a one-read quarterback, and they don't last in the NFL. He's just a one-read quarterback. Dude, he calls hike. If the fucking guy he was going to throw it to is covered, he doesn't know what to do. That's not an NFL quarterback.
I agree. Chicago, I still don't think has figured things out yet.
Yeah.
One more, Arizona, San Francisco. So we both said Arizona was probably going to be the front runner to be the most improved team this offseason. I think. Did you pick them to make the playoffs? I know Adam Lefkoe did. I always get you two confused.
No, just because the NFC was stacked up. I think I even said during our preview pod that I thought that they're going to be like a 10 or 11 win team in like a 7-win team's body because they're playing in that tough ass division. I mean, the Rams are are clearly a good team. They just beat Dallas. You can make an argument they're the worst team.
Yeah, and that's one of my takes is this week is we forget the Rams are still pretty good.
Rams are really good.
Yeah.
Rams, if they're not in that division, that's another team that's probably a 10 or 11 win team. Dude, if the Cardinals were in the NFC East, they'd win 11 games.
Yep.
I'm dead serious.
I agree.
mean that.
But Kyler Murray looked good. DeAndre Hopkins, who we knew already was good, but he had a great game. San Francisco held in check. Jimmy Garoppolo's shortcomings, I thought, presented themselves again. Raheem Mostert looked pretty good. I'm not panicking. I still think San Francisco is a really good team, but I expected this kind of regression. I thought they were going to regress a little bit this year to 12-4-ish, but this was a game I had them winning, and now it's, it could be worse.
They missed Buckner, bro.
Yeah. I agree. That was one of they all, everyone said, oh, but they got Javon Kinlaw. I'm like, this is the wrong year to rely on some rookies to perform well.
Yeah. Dude, Kyler Murray had 90 rushing yards.
Yep.
Like, they
what's crazy, and I don't think it happened last night either, unless Derrick Henry rushed for some yards I'm not sure about. I don't think there was a single 100-yard rusher in week 1.
I think Derrick Henry did.
Did he? I know going into Monday night that was the case. I wasn't sure about Derrick. I know Saquon Barkley didn't do it. Benny Snell might have, but I didn't. I didn't really pay attention to Derrick Henry.
No, I actually think you're right. I think you might. No, Clyde Edwards-Helaire did.
Did he?
Yeah, he had 134 yards on the ground.
All right. Well, by the way, we can touch up on that game too.
Yeah.
Kansas City, he adds a whole. Clyde Edwards-Helaire adds a whole different dynamic to that offense.
Dude, he didn't even catch one ball. I thought he was a receiving back. I thought he was like Brian Westbrook. That's how he kept getting sold to me. And I'm like, all right, he's going to catch 7 balls tonight. Didn't catch one ball, still had 134 yards.
Yeah. I mean, this game was over. It was, 31-7 or something?
It was never close. It just was never. They scored first. Texans scored first. And
yeah.
Still was just dude.
And I texted you after they scored. I'm like, yeah, I feel pretty good about picking the Texans to make the playoffs. And then they scored 31 unanswered, outscored them, 34-13 or something like that? And I was like, oh, never mind.
Wentz, or Watson, man, I heard, who was John Middle? Do you listen to John Middlecoff?
I do not.
Dude, listen to him. 3 and Out podcast. Fucking love that dude. My favorite all, football podcast. Easily. He was saying that, Deshaun Watson, obviously wildly talented, super clutch, super athlete, all that stuff. But he said, dude, maybe this is him having PTSD from having a terrible line his entire NFL career, but he just said, dude, he drops his head almost every time and starts running around. You just can't do that. That's why Russell Wilson is unbelievable, because he literally runs in circles and does not take his eyes off of downfield, which is, I don't know how he does it. It's like he has a third eye somewhere. That's going to be his problem, dude. Obviously they need to get him a better O-line so he can kind of sit in the pocket, but got to keep your eyes downfield, man. You're going to have a lot of bad plays. Even Wentz, who feels terrible saying because he was sacked 8 fucking times,
yeah,
like shit on Sunday, but Wentz is good at that too. Keeping Aaron Rodgers perfect, just eyes down the field. And he's not doing that. And I'm telling you, man, I'm starting to shift over into that Deshaun Watson's overrated category.
Dude, don't tell me that. I love me some Deshaun Watson.
I do too. I have no quarrels with him at all. He's a great player. He's a great human. It's just people put him in that top 5. He's just not. He's just not. I don't care what anyone says.
I will say this: he has moments. Along with some other quarterbacks, like Dak Prescott, for example, although not as much as Dak, yeah, but he has moments where you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing there?
Wentz
just kind of bone, and Wentz does too. Wentz does too.
They have that, their ceiling is top 3 in the NFL on certain plays, and then their fucking bonehead plays are
that was the word I was gonna use. They make a bonehead play sometimes. And Russell Wilson honestly was like that too when he first entered the league. He would make, he would do well, and then he'd have one bonehead play, and everyone would say that he was overrated. And I posted this somewhere, I forget where. I have argued since 2013 that Russell Wilson wasn't elite. Everyone laughed at me back then. Now they're all on my side.
Yeah, I've always been a Russell Wilson fan. I even knew during that Super Bowl run, I was just like, dude, he's the one making all these plays right now. He's the one playing. The stats weren't necessarily there yet because they were run first. But situationally, dude, he never made bad decisions in crunch time.
I still thought he should have been Super Bowl MVP.
No, I do too. They all disrespected him. That was a really loud and brash team, and that's not who Russell Wilson is. And I feel like they kind of just shafted him out for that. The personality of that team didn't match him, and clearly he was the fucking reason. I mean, I don't care what you say.
No, we
Dude,
were both, and we're getting off topic, but we were both on that side that, and I drank the Kool-Aid a little bit. I'm like, this team's rebuilding, but I was like, they're making the right decision building around Russell Wilson, not keeping Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and all these guys, because Seattle's been pretty good, and Richard Sherman goes to San Francisco and kind of rebuilds for a while, and now they're really good. Earl Thomas goes to Baltimore. They kind of rebuild at first. Now they're really good, and he's not with the team anymore. But yeah, overall, pretty entertaining week one.
Forgot COVID even existed.
For real. It sounds like the Big Ten might be coming back this week, making an announcement Tuesday night, probably. Anything else? Jacksonville shockingly defeats Indianapolis.
No, dude, that's a lot more shocking than people want to give it credit for.
So,
dude,
when I was thinking about what to say about this game, I was thinking how I could overlook a team like Jacksonville, who has been doubted this entire offseason, and hearing how they're so terrible. No doubt they'd come out with with their asses on fire, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
You want to know why? And Cowherd says this about NBA teams where, the teams that don't have superstars and don't know they're going to win a championship or compete for a championship, they play hard every night. Like, dude, they had a bunch of rookies and a bunch of guys who were getting disrespected. And I'm going to tell you right now, Gardner Minshew's not tanking.
Yeah,
he wants to start. He wants to start in this league, dude.
I think we're on board. We are now a pro Josh. All right, Josh. We're a pro Josh Allen podcast, who by the way, had a great game. But we're also a pro Gardner Minshew podcast. He had one incompletion. He looked phenomenal.
Dude, he's Baker Mayfield without the fucking fluff, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he does. He doesn't have some crazy, ridiculous arm strength, but, undeniably will hit you right in your fucking numbers every time, dude. Every single time. And he's super savvy. I thought that last year. I've seen him, kind of run out of some sacks and shit. And, I was like, do you remember that touchdown run he had last year?
Nah.
Steve Young looked like Steve Young, bro. And I was like, yeah, dude, this kid can play because he has a feel for the pocket. Like, he's moving around in the pocket. Like, that's what the young players have a hard time with, is actually maneuvering in the pocket and keeping your eyes downfield. And he had that first game he ever played. I love Gardner Minshew. He's the man. Love his little
the hair, the mustache. It's fantastic.
I love it. Amazing.
So one more thing, real quick. Thursday night football. Let's do a quick preview and maybe give some picks as well. Cleveland and Cincinnati. At first, I was heavy on Cincinnati because Joe Burrow didn't look that bad. Granted, just game one as a rookie, not
he didn't
that
look
bad.
at all.
But I feel like Cleveland's going to bounce back after a very bad performance against Baltimore.
I see short week, Joe Burrow, Myles Garrett.
That's true. Short week with a rookie quarterback, I don't know what to expect.
Myles Garrett's probably going to eat his fucking lunch all night. So I'll go Browns big in that one. I think Browns win by at least 10.
You've talked me into it now. I'm going to go Browns as well. I think it's an ugly game, but Browns 16-9, 16-9.
Yeah, I was going to say I think it's going to be like a 13 game or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Well, all right. Week one in the books. We're trying to do, like I said, we're going to try to do this bi-weekly. We haven't done that ever.
We're going to do a review and then a preview every week.
Correct. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're in good shape.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Later.